It's the Lifeline Late Show. We're singing and we're laughing and we're doing some stuff. It's the Lifeline Late Show. Join us every Saturday. It's the Lifeline Late Show. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Lifeline Late Show. I hope that you've been enjoying this. It's been a lot of fun for me to put together. This week's going to be a little bit different. We're not going to do as many skits or sketches. We are going to play a game. The game that we're going to play is trivia. So make sure you stick around for the time that we play trivia. The way that it's going to work is I'm going to ask you guys questions. There's going to be a little bit of time for you to type in the answers, and then the answer will be revealed in the video. The person with the most points at the end wins, and the way that you get points is by being the first person to type in the answer correctly. Now, we're also going to give away another prize. I'm not going to tell you the criteria for that prize, so I don't want to spoil it or ruin it for you guys, but make sure you're engaged and you're playing the trivia. Couple of announcements. First of all, everything is obviously still closed because of coronavirus, so that's a bummer. But every single week we've been putting up videos on our YouTube, which is where you're watching this right now, on the book of Acts. It's a cool way for us to stay anchored in the Word during this time, so hopefully you guys check those out. Now, another thing that we're trying to figure out is when would be the right time for us to host an event for Lifeline. Now, a couple qualifiers for that is obviously there have to be some of the restrictions lifted. We would still continue to adhere to the 6 feet apart rules, and we would stay outside. I've thought about maybe doing a bonfire outside, or just having some time where we just get together, everybody brings their own chair, or we sit on the grass or whatever, and we just talk. Be really difficult, though, because we can't play any games, we can't do anything super interactive like that, and we need to figure out what is our responsibility in this. So we're kicking it around. The reason I tell you this is I just don't want you guys to think that we've forgotten about you. Obviously we keep saying how much we love you. We keep saying how much we're praying for you. And we're trying to figure out ways to give you something to do to break up the monotony of just being stuck at home. So hopefully, we're able to pull that off in the near future and life starts to get back to normal. In the meantime, though, enjoy the show. Hey guys, this is Robert Grimley. I'm a survivalist, and we're out here in the middle of the woods. I'm going to teach you some tips and some tricks on how to survive. Stick around as we become one with nature. One of the most common questions I get is, hey, Bobo, what do you need to survive out there? And I always tell people you need a super thick shirt, you need some nice pants, and you need some boots. The other question I get all the time is, hey, what kind of knife should I have? And I think that's a personal preference. There are some people I know that go out there with no knife. They make their own knife out of rocks. What I like to carry is a very small pocket knife. Here it is. Very small pocket knife. Now listen, here's something extremely interesting. You know what this is? This is an X on a tree. You know why people do that? So they can find their way home. Being able to identify what's in your woods out here is the most important. This is a tree. I think it's a birch tree. Here we have these are wild flowers. So that's really cool and neat. You definitely want to be able to identify what is in your surroundings, because, we're out here in the middle of the woods, and we just want to make sure that we're safe and we don't eat the wrong things. Look, this is, let me show you here and get my camera on it. This right here is known as a spiky birch hanger. You definitely don't want to touch that. If you do, it will inject your body with thousands of pounds of chemicals, and you'll die instantly. So you want to make sure you're well educated before you come out here. Okay, look, here's a really cool thing. Okay, this is an animal track. Okay, someone came through here and put their foot down. They also put their foot right there. It's very, very helpful to know how to track animals. Okay, from the way they're moving, we can tell that they went this way, and that they in fact have legs and feet, and that they made this mark. One of the most important things about being out in the woods is safety. Now, I came across a creek as I was exploring, and I spent about 4 hours building a bridge. Pretty solid work. You know, people ask me all the time, hey, Bobo, why do you do it? How were you able to do it? How were you able to forsake all kinds of possessions and just live out there in the woods? And I say, I think this is what we were made for. You know, I think we were made to feel our toes in the sand, you know, to dig our hands in the ground, to be at one with nature. I think it's just exactly what we were intended to do. It's pretty beautiful out here. Let me show you. It's pretty incredible that this is all mine as far as the eye can see. Completely and totally undeveloped, completely and totally at one with nature right here. My own little sanctuary. Now, the next question I get all the time is, hey Bobo, how do you build a fire? It's a great question. And the first thing I tell people is you have to make sure you clear the area around your fire pit. You have to make sure that your fire is not going to spread, because the last thing you want to do is start a forest fire, okay? So here's what I like to do. I like to make it look just like this. And again, we're out here in the middle of the woods. If you don't have the tools for this or the resources or just the wherewithal to be able to find rocks and chisel them down to make them uniform and beautiful like I did, that's okay. But here's what I do. Start with that. So we've built our fire pit. We've got everything ready to go. We're gonna come back a little bit later on tonight. We're gonna build a fire. I'm gonna show you exactly how to do that. You're gonna enjoy that, I hope. And we'll see you. Dang, nature. Hey guys, this is Bobo. We're back. We're gonna light this fire. Now, what I do when I'm out in the woods is I just use paper and wood. Wood is all around you. You might have to bring a piece of paper. What I usually do is rub two sticks together to create some friction, put my paper in there, and we're good to go. But for the sake of time in this video, I'm gonna use this here lighter, and we're gonna use this here piece of paper to light the wood that's already in there. There's a piece of paper in there, so let's get it. Okay, so I've got my paper. I'm gonna throw it into my fire. Thank you, Bob. What's up, my nerds? We're back with another episode. This time we're gonna have some more fun, okay? Last time we just did a steak. This time we're gonna build on that. We're gonna add in a sauce and we're gonna add in a side. So we are working our way towards the progression of a full meal. So I went to the store. I wanted to get a skirt steak. They didn't have it, so I got a Delmonico. It's not the same. It's not even a 1-for-1. Flank steak would have been closer, but they didn't have it, so we'll work with that. I got a sweet potato. It's not a yam, it's a sweet potato. I got a sweet onion. We're gonna cut that up. A yellow pepper, a red jalapeno, black pepper, green jalapeno, limes, salt, cilantro. I got some olive oil and some apple cider vinegar, and we're gonna put all this together to make a delicious meal. Stick around. Let's get cutting. I'm gonna use this guy. It's my Japanese vegetable knife. So the first thing you want to do with this onion is you want to take this bottom part off. Okay? You want to leave this part on because we're going to cut down the middle. It's going to help us peel it. It's going to help the onion stay together, and that's what we want. Peeled. Now, there's a couple different cuts that you can make from this point. But this is what you want. Now let me show you a little trick real quick. I wet a paper towel and I put that underneath my cutting board, and now it's not gonna move. So you can make your traditional dice. There's these little ribs along the onion. Those can work for you as a guide. So you wanna put your finger in, cut down, and you kind of go around like a rainbow. Now you can cut it down this way, you can give it one more, and then cut straight down, and you have yourself nice, uniform onion cuts. If you don't want to do that, you can take this off, and you can make yourself slices like this, okay? And here's another cut with the onion. Now people ask all the time, whoa, how do I stop myself from crying when I'm cutting onions? Get a sharp knife. Now we need to cut our pepper. This is a cool trick. This is going to help you minimize waste in peppers. If we do this right, the only waste you should have will be the inside of the pepper. So take your pepper, lay it down like this. Cut as close as you can to the top so that you get a cut like this. See how thin that is? It's good. Then you want to flip it around, cut the bottom part, doesn't matter how thick that is. We want to take that part off. Now, you have a hole. See you. We're going to flip it up, stand it up like this, cut it down. So now you have it open like this. Now all you do is you put your knife in there on the flesh and slowly cut as you roll your pepper out, and voila. That's your only waste. Now you can cut this off, you can keep this. So that's your only waste right there. You have your beautiful pepper, good to go. And then just go straight down, making my cuts, and then go this way, making my cuts. Cut up all your stuff. You're ready to go. Build your chimichurri sauce. I do it in a Vitamix because that's what I got. If you don't have a Vitamix, you can do it in a blender. If you don't have a blender, just buy some from the store. So, first thing we're gonna put in, onions, peppers, beautiful yellow pepper. Seems good. Cilantro. Oh, the oil's slipping in there too, that's fine. We'll just throw it all in, why not? Let's have some fun, okay? Now we blend. Okay, we've got our sauce made. It's this beautiful green color. Okay? It's gorgeous. Tastes delicious. It's gonna go great. Like I said, on steak, fish, chicken, pork, liver, whatever you want. Put it in the fridge. Let it chill. Stock potatoes. Grab your little paring knife. This is a short little guy. Poke some holes in this bad boy. Done. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take these, we're gonna wrap them in foil. We're gonna throw them into our oven that is preheated. I have it set to 500 degrees. That may seem a little bit high, but I don't wanna be here all day. So we're gonna put these in the oven, 500 degrees. Let's get it. So our potatoes are in the oven. We got our sauce done. Now we're gonna make our steak. And again, I typically wouldn't use a Delmonico for this application, but it's what I got. So we're gonna dry it off, which I already did. We're gonna take some salt, some pepper, and we're gonna put it in a grill pan. I would love to grill outside, but unfortunately it's raining, so we're gonna go ahead and use our grill pan. People ask all the time, how do you get those great grill marks? Great question. There's two different ways. You can put it on and get cross hatchies, or you go straight up 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock this way, and then 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock this way, or you can go like this and then twist it like this. So we're gonna do it that way. We're gonna go like that, push it down, get some good coverage, some heat to meat coverage. We're gonna let that go for about 2 minutes on this side. Then what we'll do is we'll take it going this way, and we'll move it going this way to get our cross hatchy. That's okay. Keep having fun. It doesn't matter, because you know why? We're gonna cut it up, we're gonna put some sauce on it. It's gonna be good to go no matter what. But if you can get the cross hatchies on your grill, or if you can get the cross hatchies on your grill pan, you'd be good to go. Maybe we'll just paint some on at the end, like they do in the Burger King commercials. Okay, so our steak is cooked, it's resting. Now we're gonna plate. Again, this time it's a little bit more complete. So what we have is our sauce, we have our side with our sweet potatoes, so let's plate it a little bit. What I like to do is start with the sauce. That way it gives me an area to work around. So I'm gonna take a spoon, a little bit of this sauce. I'm gonna put it at the front of the spoon and let it fall onto the plate so we have a nice circle. Now we're gonna take the spoon straight up and down, put it right in the middle, and drag it out. Beautiful. We'll take our sweet potato. Now, we have a couple different options with the sweet potato. What I like to do is take the insides out of the sweet potato and just put them on the plate. Okay, so you've got your sauce. You've got your potatoes. Let's cut the steak. So we'll cut long slices. Let the knifey do the work. We got our plate. We got our steak. Let's cut. Just gonna lay it on top. Just like that. Make it look nice. Grab our spoon. Put a little bit of our greenery just on top of here like that. If you're feeling fancy, go in a little circle. Don't do that. That looks terrible. Have some fun with it though. Bam! Emeril Lagasse. This is Cooking with Corona. We'll see you next week. Hey, what's up, guys? We are going to play trivia. I'm going to ask a bunch of questions from a bunch of different categories and then give you guys time to answer the questions. We'll count up who has the most points at the end, and they'll win a prize, a good prize. So you definitely want to play. Okay, first question. When Michael Jordan played for the Chicago Bulls, how many NBA championships did he win? 6 is the answer. Which Williams sister has won more Grand Slam titles? Serena. Which Jamaican runner is an 11-time world champion and holds the record in the 100 and 200 meter race? I'll accept his full name, first and last, or just the last name, or just the first name, if you want. That name is Usain Bolt. Which boxer was known as the greatest and also as the people's champion? So same boxer, 2 different nicknames. Who was it? If you said Muhammad Ali, you were correct. I'll accept Muhammad Ali, or just Ali. What year, this is a good one, what year was the first ever Wimbledon Championships held? This is a long time ago. Long time ago. Such a loser. 1877, same year my wife was born. All right. How many soccer players should be on each side of the field at the beginning of each soccer match? So there's a total number. That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking on each side. Which, like how many does each team have? That's probably a really better way to put it. After all that confusion, the answer should be 11. Okay, moving on to technology. What year was the very first model of the iPhone released? (2007). If you had 2007, you were correct. Sticking with technology, what is the shortcut for the copy function on your computer? The shortcut for the copy function on your computer is Control-C. What is often seen as the smallest unit of memory? I don't know if this is actually correct, but we're just going to go with what is in here, and it says kilobyte. Is that correct? I don't know. I thought it was a byte. I don't know. Okay. Google, Chrome, Safari, Firefox, and Explorer are all types of different what? Web browsers. The answer is web browsers. Last one. What was Twitter's original name? Do you know? I know, because I, have the answers here. Spelling counts. Just saying. The answer is T, like Thomas. W as in walrus. TTR as in kangaroo. For TWTTR. That is the answer we're looking for. Okay, moving on to science. Question. Who discovered penicillin? Just kidding, it's penicillin. Who discovered penicillin? Alexander Fleming. What is meteorology the study of? Meteorology. What is meteorology the study of? The weather. Which planet is the hottest in our solar system? Venus. Which part of the atom has no electronic charge? What part of the atom has no electronic charge? It's really, really weird just sitting here. Neutron is the answer. What is the symbol for potassium? Does anybody know? Symbol for potassium on the periodic table of elements. What is the symbolism of potassium? K. That's it. K. It looks like an F. K. It's a K. The answer is K. What animals are pearls found in? What animals are pearls found in? Pearls as in the jewelry. What animals are they found in? Oysters. Which planet has the most gravity? Jupiter. Rhymes with Poopeter. Jupiter is the answer. Okay, moving on to food and drink. Here are some food and drink trivia questions. Number 1. Which country produces the most coffee in the world? Which country produces the most coffee in the world? Speaking of coffee, Starbucks is terrible. Don't eat Starbucks. Don't drink Starbucks either. The answer is Brazil. What is the common name for dried plums? So you have a plum, you dry it. What is it called once it's dried? I'll give you a clue. It makes you poo. The answer is prunes. Which country invented tea? Does anybody know? The country that invented tea, as in T-E-A, what you drink. Anybody know? China. Here's a good one. What name does deer meat go by? So if you buy deer meat, you see it at the store, it's going to be called this. What is it called? I'll give you a clue. It begins with a V and ends with venison. Yes, the answer is venison. So if you typed in venison, you're correct. Okay, what is the other name for corn? What other name does corn go by? Do you know? I'll give you a clue. That's a clue. The answer is maize. M-A-I-Z-E. Maize. If you typed M-A-Z-E, I'll accept it. Okay, 2 more questions. What is the primary ingredient in hummus? What is hummus made from? Primary ingredient in hummus is chickpeas. You guys know what I call chickpeas? Chichi beans. That's what we call them in our household. We call them chichi beans because that's what we called them when I was a kid because we are Italian. Speaking of Italian, which country is responsible for giving us pizza and pasta? Wait, I accidentally gave the answer. It's Italy. If you typed in Italy, we'll give you a point. And you were the first one there, give you a point. Okay, moving on to health. Which organ in your body has 4 chambers? Count them, 4 chambers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which organ? Heart. If you said heart, you're correct. In which body part can you find the femur? Not the lemur, the femur. Which part of your body do you find the femur? The answer is 3 letters. It's not arm, it's leg. How many taste buds does the average human tongue have? How many? Can you count them? 10,000. 10,000. Which element on the periodic table of elements is said to keep bones strong? said to keep bones strong? Calcium. The answer is calcium. Oh, dude, this is gross. Which bone are babies born without? Oh, I've never tested this theory. I have 3 babies and I never knew this. Ooh, I don't know why it's grossing me out. It's not actually that gross. It's just a bone that they don't have. Which bone are babies born without? Kneecap. That freaks me out. That's what my son says when he gets scared. Dad, that freaks me out. I don't know why he sounds like he's like, I don't know, German or Russian or freaks me out. He's Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's a mini Arnold Schwarzenegger. Speaking of Germany and Russia, let's move on to geography. Which continent is biggest? Biggest continent. Biggest. Do you know? Asia. Yes, it is Asia. Which of the 7 wonders of the world is located in Egypt? Which one? Which one? Do you know? The answer is the pyramids of Giza, like old Giza. Which American state is the largest by area? Which American state is the largest by area? Do you know? I don't think you do. I think you're going to get this one wrong. If you said Texas, you were wrong. It's Alaska. Okay. What is the name of the world's longest river? The longest river in the world is named Denial. Which city in India would you find the Taj Mahal in? This is a good question. Which city in India would you find the Taj Mahal in? The Taj Mahal is known as a castle or something. I don't know. It's like a place that a rich dude lives in. I have no idea what it is. But what city is it in? The answer is Agra. A-G-R-A. What is the smallest country in the world? Smallest country in the world. Do you know? I do. But do you? Do you know? It's where the Pope lives. Vatican. Vatican City. Here we go. Let's move on to music. This is going to be hilarious. Music. Which name is rapper Sean Combs better known by? Now, I'll accept a bunch of different answers here. Sean Combs, Sean Combs, better known by P. Diddy. If you said Puff Daddy, if you said Diddy, if you said P. Diddy, if you said Sean P. Diddy Combs, if you said Sean Diddy Combs, if you said any of those things that are Puff Daddy, Diddy, P. Diddy, or anything like that, I'll accept it. What was the name of the group Justin Timberlake was in? Justin Timberlake was in the Backstreet Boys' biggest rival, NSYNC. He was in NSYNC, which stands for In Sync. Did you know that? Okay, moving on. This is going to be a little bit harder. How many Grammys does John Legend have? John Legend. How many Grammys? 10. He has 10 Grammys. Pause. I got a great knock-knock joke for you. Ready? I made this up myself. Knock, knock. Olive. All of me loves all of you. Love your curves and all your edges. All your perfect imperfections. It's John Legend's song. Here we go. Which British girl group had a member by the name of Mel B? Which British girl group had a member by the name of Mel B as in banana? B as in banana for Mel B. She was in the Spice Girls. Okay. 2 more questions. What genre of music did Taylor Swift start out in? What genre did she start out in? What genre? Do you know? Taylor Swift, T Swifty. That's what I call her. That's what we call her around the house, T Swifty. She's my buddy. I don't know anything about Taylor Swift. Country music is what she started in. And I don't know about you, but I am feeling movies and TV quiz questions next. So let's go into movies and TV quiz questions. Okay, first one. What is the name of the song that Queen Elsa sings as she builds her ice palace in the movie Frozen? If you don't know this, you should be embarrassed. Let it go. Let it go. Don't hold back anymore. Let it go. Cold never bothered me anyways. Here we go. Which popular TV show featured House Targaryen and Stark? Not Harry Potter. Those were Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, and Slytherin. This was the houses Targaryen and Stark. And that was from Game of Thrones. Never seen it. Seems like I shouldn't watch it though. It doesn't seem appropriate for children. How many films did Sean Connery play James Bond in? How many films did Sean Connery play James Bond in? How many? I'll give you guys a clue. It's more than 5, less than 10. Rhymes with heaven. 7. What was the name of the family who starred in Seventh Heaven? One of my favorite shows of all time. Loved it. Seen every episode. Loved it. What was the name of the family who starred in Seventh Heaven? The Camdens. How many Lord of the Rings films are there? Nobody cares. Looking at you, Victoria. How many? Nobody cares. But seriously, how many are there? 3. Last one for movies and TV. Which cartoon character lives in a pineapple under the sea? Do you know? SpongeBob. SpongeBob SquarePants. You know what my daughter calls SpongeBob? Scrubby Bob. How cute is that? Scrubby Bob. Okay, moving on to our very last category, animals. Okay, in animals, these are hard questions, so I'm going to give you guys some clues. I'm going to give you guys some time to think about the clues and figure it out from there. First question, how many hearts does an octopus have? First clue for the octopus hearts is between 1 and 5. How many hearts does an octopus have between 1 and 5? The answer is between 1 and 5. 3. The answer is 3. Second question, how long is the gestation period of an African elephant? Clue, it is between 12 and 24 months. We're looking for a specific amount of months between 12 and 24. If you said 22 months, you would be correct. Now, what is a female donkey called? Here's the clue. Forrest Gump's girlfriend. That's right, Jenny. You and me's like peas and carrots, Jenny. How many eyes does a bee have? Gross. Clue, between 2 and 7. Freaks me out. 5. The answer is 5. That's gross. What mammal has no vocal cords? Now, the clue for this is this mammal has a very, very long neck. And no, it's not a brontosaurus, because those are dead. This is a giraffe. I'll also accept giraffe. What is the fastest land animal in the world? I'm not going to give you a clue for this one. The cheetah. And which animal symbolizes good luck in Europe? Which animal symbolizes good luck in Europe? I'll give you a clue. It rhymes with fady tug. Ladybug. Do sponges have hearts? Do sponges have hearts? I'll give you a clue. It's a yes or no answer. No, they don't. You are the winner. I'll type your name in right now. Congratulations to you're the winner. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more Lifeline Late Show. See you soon. What's up, guys? I hope that you enjoyed trivia. Congratulations to whomever the winner is. You guys know who it is. I don't know who it is because it's in your past and yet my future. So we're going to take a little bit of break from our series in apologetics where we're asking the questions and hopefully providing some answers that make sense to you, answers that you can use in real conversations when you talk to your friends. And we're going to focus on what exactly is apologetics. We're going to define it. We're going to talk about why it's important. And we're going to talk a little bit about some tips and tricks that you can use when you're using apologetics. So first of all, what is apologetics? Does it mean that you're apologizing for your faith? Absolutely not. It means simply that you're able to defend your faith. It comes from the Greek word, which means defense. Now, I'm not even going to pretend to try to know how to pronounce it, but it means defense. I looked it up. So this is similar to the idea of like a court of law, right? So you're in a court of law and you're being examined. People are asking you questions and you're having the opportunity to defend yourself or an ideology that you believe in or something like that. Now, sometimes when we think about the idea of a court of law and you're on the defense, we think about it in a negative connotation, right? Typically, if you are the defendant, then you're trying to prove your innocence. And that's not what we're trying to do here in our relationship with Jesus. And it's not what we're trying to do in apologetics. We're trying to show people that we know why we believe what we believe in such a way that we're opening their heart and their mind to receive the goodness of Jesus Christ. It's not that we have anything to be sorry for. It's not that we have anything that we're guilty of. It just simply means that we're able to explain why we believe what we believe in such a way that it changes those around us when they hear it, because we have been first changed by our relationship with Jesus. Now, the Bible tells us that we actually must be ready to make our case with apologetics. It says so in 1 Peter 3:15, and it says basically we must always be prepared to make a defense to anyone who asks us for a reason for the hope that we have. And yet, we must do it with gentleness and respect. And that's what I want to talk about, just really briefly. You know, again, we're not defending our systematic theology. We're not defending, our church as a building or our pastor as an individual or whatever. We're defending the hope that we have inside of us, and not in the way where we're trying to, build up walls and not let other people affect us. We're doing it in such a way that we are able to explain the hope that we have. That is an incredibly powerful thing that we can give to one another. When we get asked questions like, why is there bad things that happen to good people, and we share the hope that we have in Jesus Christ, that speaks so much louder than any logical argument that we could ever have. When we're able to do that in gentleness and respect, we're extending an olive branch to these people. We're able to reach out to them and share with them and invite them into community with us. But why does this even matter? I think this verse in Peter, this verse that Peter writes really explains it well. We're able to make our defense to anyone who asks us for our reason for hope. It matters because hope matters. I've been saying this over and over again, and I'm kind of tired of saying it, but I think it's so important. Coronavirus has come into this world, and people are acting like it has the power to hit this cosmic pause button on everything. Our economy has stopped, sporting events have stopped, so many different things have stopped, and yet the enemy is still working. And if the enemy is still working, that means the Holy Spirit is still working. Now, this is absolutely a very, very bad thing, and we should take it seriously. And as much as it kills me to stay inside, I know that it would be way worse if we weren't quarantining. And that's not a political statement. I just mean for the sake of my family and my loved ones, I don't want them to get sick. But there is still hope in the middle of this. And when we talk about our relationship with Jesus in relation to coronavirus, that is what we should share with people. There is no pause button big enough to stop hope. There is no opportunity in our lives that we have for anybody to derail that hope. And that's exactly what apologetics hits on. We have the opportunity to share the hope that we have in Jesus Christ, that we have experienced and has changed our lives when we are able to make our defense, make our argument, and share with them in that moment. And it's an incredible thing. It's a life-changing thing. I mean, it has changed you, so it stands to reason that it would change other people. Now, how the heck do we even do this? Well, let me tell you one way that's not going to work. If you go into an argument or a conversation with somebody and your hope is that you're going to win that argument and prove them wrong, it's probably not going to work out too well for you. I know that we're competitive people by nature. I've seen most of you guys play sports. I've seen most of you guys play games at youth group. And if we have that mentality when we think about winning somebody or winning an argument or defending our faith, it's not going to work out well for us. It's frustrating. Nobody that disagrees with you is ever going to A, want to disagree with you again, and B, want to have a conversation with you again, and C, they're probably not even going to hear you in the first place. What we need to do is we need to do it with gentleness. We need to do it in such a way that we're not saying, hey, maybe we're wrong, but we're saying, I'm so convinced of this that I'm not going to feel threatened. I'm not going to feel judged. I'm not going to feel scared if you disagree with me. Rather, I'm going to be able to sit here. I'm going to be able to listen to it. I'm going to be able to take it, and then I'm going to respond. We need to listen first. This is super hard. It is so hard to do. I have to learn how to do it all the time in my marriage. I have to learn how to do it all the time in parenting. And I will admit to you straight up, it is one of the hardest parts of being married, one of the hardest parts of being a parent. However, it's also one of the most important. In the same way, when my wife or my daughter or my son or whomever is explaining something to me that I disagree with or something I don't fully understand, and I have to just sit there and I have to listen and I have an opinion and I want to share and I want to defend why I did what I did or why I need my daughter to just listen and go to bed or whatever, I need to take a step back and with gentleness have the opportunity to hear what they're saying and respond in the way that they need. What I'm actually doing is loving them the way that they need to be loved, not the way that I think they need to be loved. And that's our thought process, right? We think that we have something that they need, so we need to love them that way. However, what we need to do is love them the way that they deserve to be loved, the way that they were created to be loved. And that's when we're going to have the doors swung wide open so that we're able to actually facilitate a conversation with them. We can have the most logic, the most reason, the greatest arguments of all time, the greatest stories of our interactions with Jesus, but if they're not ready to hear it, it's never going to work out. And the only way they're ever going to be ready to hear it is if they see that we are willing to listen first, they're going to be able to listen. Now, there's some biblical facts that back this up. Proverbs 10:19 says, where words are many, transgression is not lacking, but whoever restrains his lips is prudent. This basically is my life verse. Now, you guys know, you've been around me for the last 3 years. I put my foot in my mouth all the time. I say things I regret all the time. That's exactly what this is talking about. Where you speak too much, you're liable to put your foot in your mouth. But if you restrain your lips, you're not going to. Proverbs 17:28. Even a fool who keeps silent is considered wise. When he closes his lips, he is deemed intelligent. How many times have you been in like a meeting or something like that and you start talking and you're like, man, I wish I wouldn't have said that. Or even just a conversation with a friend. But if you sit there and you listen, they probably think, wow, this person's smart. And maybe there is a little bit of truth in the fact that sometimes not sharing is the smarter thing to do. But the reality is that people are going to ask you your opinion whether you share it in the beginning or not. And you're going to have an opportunity to share it, is what I'm trying to say. And it's going to be better received if they ask you for it first. In Proverbs 18:2, it says, a fool takes no pleasure in understanding, but only in expressing his opinion. This is one of the biggest arguments we can make for being gentle and respectful in apologetics. I'll read it again. It's Proverbs 18:2. A fool takes no pleasure in understanding, but only in expressing his opinion. A wise man takes pleasure in understanding somebody else, not in expressing his own opinion. The fool, the person who puts their foot in their mouth, the person who sits there and talks too much, they're the ones that have no time for understanding somebody else, and all they care about is what they have to say. We can absolutely relate to this when we think about conversations we've had, where all we want to do is respond to what people are saying, where we start to argue with them before they're even done expressing their opinion. Now listen, I'm going to end with this. This is James chapter 1, verse 19. Know this, my beloved brothers. Let every person be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger. Here's the best part about this verse. He calls them his brothers. He's giving advice that stands in the face of what most people do naturally. And in this, he's saying, I love you, but you're wrong. That is an incredible thing that we can do for one another. And this is not even just talking about apologetics and saying, listen, I think you're wrong. You shouldn't believe what you believe, blah, 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 blah. But by saying, hey, listen, I love you. I'm here with you. I respect you. But let me explain to you why I believe what I believe, and then we'll have a conversation. You know, I talk about this all the time. You've probably heard me say this. My best friend in the world and I disagree on almost everything. But I love him so much. He has helped me grow as a husband, as a father, as a student ministries director, as a follower of Jesus, and yet we disagree on a lot of the things that I do on a day-to-day basis with my job or things that I believe or whatever. A lot of the things that are core values to me, we disagree on. Now, he's not a Christian. He's just a different kind of Christian. And a lot of the verbiage that I use and a lot of the different things like that, we just disagree on. But we talk. I seek his advice. I seek his counsel because he has the ability to listen to me and respond in such a way that he's actually hearing what I have to say, respecting what I have to say, and he's gently disagreeing with me and giving me pushback to help me expand my mind so that I'm able to see things from his perspective so that we're able to facilitate an actual conversation and not an argument. That has stretched me. It has worn me out at times, but I am so much more thankful for him as a friend than I am for anybody else that just disagrees with me or that just agrees with me 100%. And I guarantee you, if you have a friend that disagrees with you well, you will agree with the statement that I just made, that they are more valuable than somebody that just agrees with you and is just your yes man or your yes woman in your life. Now, apologetics are hard. It's tricky. Hopefully you guys continue to watch these and learn something. If you have any questions about them, please let me know. I love you guys. I can't wait to be back with you soon. And until next week, stay safe. Don't go near people. If you have to be out in public, stay 6 feet apart, wear a mask, wear some gloves, drink some hand sanitizer, and shoot those ultraviolet light beams into your mouth and ingest them. I love you guys. See you next week.